Hi, Mikel, you okay?
Yes, I'm good.
Good stuff. Kieran Tierney, is he going to play in this match? And has Thomas Partey travelled to Italy with you?
Thomas didn't travel. He's not there yet. He's still training individually. And Kieran has one session with us and is part of the squad.
What about Aubameyang's tattoo? Has he broken any rules, Mikel? And are you going to take any action about that?
No, whatever we do with our players, we keep it internally. It's true that there are a lot of members of our squad that they have extended families at home, and if any player does something that is not in the regulation, obviously the club acts immediately, but always privately as well.
Just on this tie, it's fairly unusual, isn't it? Two neutral venues. How do you think that's going to affect the dynamic of the tie?
Well, it's very unusual, but as much as we can, we have to try to maintain the integrity of the competition. The only way to do it at the moment is to play in different venues, but at least play it over two legs and with away goals as well, always present.
Just finally from me, you're 8 points behind Chelsea. Is the Europa League your best way into the Champions League now, do you think?
It's one of the ways. There's still a lot of games to play in the Premier League too, but obviously we are very excited with the competition. We've been a really strong run this season in the Europa League, and tomorrow we have a good opportunity to make another step.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jeremy. We'll move to James Bench from CBS.
Hi, Mikel. Just like to ask you briefly about Mikel Arteta, because I think this was a tournament that really suited him. He had a great run in the group stage. How valuable was that playing time then in getting him into the form he is now?
Yes, obviously the fact that we have Europe gave the opportunity to almost everybody in the squad to be fit, available and competing for his place. I think Nico had some really good matches, some important goals as well, and I think that, as you said, helped him for the Premier League form and the recent form that he's shown.
I think it was about a year ago, you told us you've been working hard on making him more right-footed, increasing the versatility and the way he could attack. Have you seen signs of that development, and has that convinced you to play him on the left?
Well, I've seen a lot of things, and not only there, but as well in his mentality and the way he approaches every training session, in his game understanding as well. It's true that he has patches where he's playing more than other times. He hasn't had that continuity over months that probably every player would be seeking to have. But I think overall there is a lot of progress with Nico.
And just finally from me, I know obviously it's a long way until the final of a competition like this, but I'm sure you're aware that Arsenal have probably not had the greatest European history for a club of their size. Do you allow yourself to think about what it would be like lifting that trophy in Gdansk and how special it would be?
That picture is always in the back of my mind because why we are here is to win trophies for this club. And this is a competition that we want to be linked to as well because we are participating. Obviously, Champions League has been massive for this club. At the moment, we are not on it. And the best way to be back in there is by winning this competition as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. We'll go to Nick Callow from Haters.
Evening, Mikel. Can I just ask you a couple of questions, if I may, about Willian? I know it's quite popular to criticise him at the moment because perhaps he hasn't performed as well as you would have liked. What do you think he can still offer the team?
Well, what he's doing at the moment, the way he's training, the way he's working, the way he's willing to give everything to the team is what I demand. Whether he's got is more successful or less successful in the game is another matter. It would come with the quality that he has, but at least what I demand to every player is a full commitment and to put the passion and everything they have in every training session and when they have the opportunity to play. And so far, Willian has done that every single day.
Would you say the criticism is unfair and that he shows more in training than other players?
No, I don't say it's unfair because obviously with Willie, the expectations are really high in terms of the goals he can score, the assists that he can create. You expect him to be in the starting lineup as well, so it's normal that people write things about him. We have to protect him, we have to support him as much as we can. Because he deserves it, the way he handles his profession and the way he is every day with us.
Will he be involved in this match?
Well, he's part of the squad, so he's got a really good chance.
Okay, thanks for your time. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. We'll move to Nick Ames from The Guardian.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just a couple of questions from me. Can we go back to time last year when you played Olympiacos and you were expected to win and maybe you were in a winning position and then lost that tie in quite a difficult way? I was wondering what you and the squad learned from that tie against Olympiacos.
Well, I thought it was very cruel. The way we got knocked out of the competition, the tie was in our hands. We scored the goal and we conceded in the last minute of the extra time. And we still had a massive chance with Oba to go through. But the big lesson there that you have to play every single minute of the competition with high focus. Every detail matters. And every situation have to be handled and being able to manage the game the way it's required. Because it's over 2 legs, the goal difference is very important and that has to be in the back of your mind, and you have to be able to control your emotions and as well be able to change the game when you need to take it to your territory when the tie is in your hands.
Can you use that disappointment from last year to sort of push you on in the competition this year and in this time?
I hope so. I think it was a really tough experience for all of us the way it happened, because I think that we deserve to go through, but as well I think that created more hunger as well for this season to do more, and we have to use that thing that we have still there that we haven't gone through yet to put more energy, more passion and more commitment to this competition.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. We'll go to Mark Owen from The Sun.
Hi, Mikel. Just a quickie, back on Oba and this tattoo thing. Are you confident he hasn't broken the protocols by having this tattoo done?
Well, we try to advise every player and make sure that they know all the rules and that we stick to those rules all the time. And if someone doesn't do it, obviously we have to act immediately on it. So again, I cannot tell you who every player lives with, but we do. And when somebody does anything that shouldn't be doing, obviously is going to get found out from us, and obviously there are going to be consequences. And if not, there won't be.
Has he travelled to this game?
Yes, he's here.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. We'll go to Aralas Old Sada from VG Norway, please.
Hello, Mikel from Norway here. A couple of questions, of course, about Martin Ødegaard. Jan Åge Fjørtoft, I don't know if you know him, he's the Norwegian former Premier League player. He told me a story that I liked from Pep Guardiola's time at Bayern Munich, because Martin was training with them back then, as he did with Arsenal as well. And after the training, because Jan Åge Fjørtoft was there, and Pep Guardiola came over to him and said, "You have to get me this player to Bayern Munich. I'm going to make him the best player in the world." So my first question is, did you have conversations with Pep Guardiola about Martin Ødegaard during your time at City or before you brought him to Arsenal?
I can't recall if we had. Maybe when he was playing a game or two, maybe we made a comment about it, but not about the story that you are telling me. So I don't know anything about that.
In your opinion, is that potential still there? Can you make him one of the best players in the world, do you think?
Well, it's not the potential because he's done it. I followed him very closely when he was at Real Sociedad, and he had a lot of continuity, and he was really impressive over there for long periods. He had a really successful season over there, and that's one of the reasons why I was so convinced that he was a player for us, a player that I really liked, and as you said, that has still a huge potential to become even better.
How has the first impression been compared to, of course, when you've been following him from a distance, now that you've worked with him for some weeks? What's the impression?
All positives from my first conversation that I had with him. A really focused and humble boy that was really keen to join, that he just wants to play football in the right way. And then he said so really quickly. Really nice guy, players like him, staff like him, easygoing, really hard worker. And I've been very impressed with his leadership. He looks a little bit calm and reserved, but on the pitch, he's got something about him, and I've been really impressed with that.
Yeah, does he have more of a character than you maybe expected?
Yes, and when I talk about leadership as well, is how he talks to his teammates, how he commands, for example, the high press, And then the personality that he shows every time there are opponents next to him, he still wants the ball in the right areas. His decision making is really good, and he's a really intelligent player.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Aras. We'll now have a couple of questions from Portuguese media. So we'll go, I can see Sport TV Portugal. You have your hand raised.
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
I would like to know, in your opinion, which are the strongest and weakest points of Benfica, and if you allow me, who do you think that is the best player in Benfica and why?
Well, what I can say is a really competitive team, a really high rhythm team, really high press, very dominant when you allow them to do it, with very aggressive attacking players, that when they have a space to attack and they are close to the final third, they become really dangerous. Are managers with a huge history in football that some of the players know him really well as well. So big respect, they're going to be a really difficult opponent.
And about the best player?
I would not like to mention just a player. I think it's a really strong team.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I can see Abola, so Rui Miguel Melo from Abola.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Mikel. Two questions. Do you expect Benfica in a 4-4-2 formation or 3-4-3? And did you talk with Cedric and David Luiz about Benfica? Thank you.
I expect them in both, and the preparation of the games always are in relation to the possible formations that they can use. So we prepare the game in both, with the alteration that they have independent of the players that they play, as well within the formation. And regarding the players that you mentioned, yes, of course, I'm always interested to see about the history, about how they get coached, about the culture of the team. So it's always useful to have opinion from players that know the league and the team so well.
Thanks, Rui. And finally, we'll go to João Barbosa.
Hi, Mikel. In the last games, Benfica has given a lot of priority to building with 3 players in the defense. So how can Arsenal prevent this construction? And another question, Arsenal conceded corners goals against Southampton and Leeds. Do you think this could be a problem against Benfica?
Well, they will propose different problems in relation to what you said about the build-up phase. They've done it in many different ways. We have to be prepared for that and try to nullify that as much as possible, obviously, the same that they will try to do with us. And the fact of conceding the goals and the manner you concede the goals in the competition is huge, because the value of the goals becomes crucial in these stages. So it's obviously something that we have to bear in mind all the time.